Long time no see, everyone. It's your old mate Jacargon, back at it again. This time with my latest pickups for winter 2023. So as always, if you're enjoying the content, don't forget to like and subscribe, and comments are very, very much appreciated. Now, for some reason, we're in winter, but today's warm? Like, my room is warm. I feel like I'm overdressed just wearing this long sleeve. It's weird. I don't know what's going on. Okay, wow. I was basically burning up in my room there, so I've moved to the couch. I don't think you'll have ever seen the couch spot, but we're just gonna have to do it from here because my room is a furnace and it's winter. I don't know what's going on. I was down at the beach yesterday. It was very, very cold. Anyway, let's just move on. Hashtag Melbourne. So for this pickups video, we do have a lot of pieces. I've actually also been selling a lot of pieces. So everything's sort of cyclically funding itself from sales that go to new things. And the things that I do have for winter, I'm pretty stoked with, and some things that are replacing other things. But yeah, I digress. Let's get to it. Starting off with shoes. So here we have the Rick Owens Doc Martens Derby. I think it's the Bex. Derby, the Bex is the sole. It's like a double sole, not quite like the Jaden, like not quite the quad, but it is thicker than a regular sole. I found these for a really decent price and did pick them up because, you know, for those playing at home, I have been looking for a pair of Derbies for quite a significant amount of time, and things just don't fit, whether they're too big or too thin. And I had read up that these were quite wide and figured may as well like give it a shot because they should be able to fit me. Now, as not really my first pair of docs, but my first pair of docs that I've been wearing in, these are incredibly uncomfortable. And as such, I've got like this heel pad in there, and my ankles have just got so many band-aids on them to try and like pad them out. But I'm getting there. I mean, they do fit lengthways. Width is a little tight, but I'm stretching them just through regular wear. It's really just the heel part that is the biggest barrier for me, but we're getting there. We're getting there. Overall, the shoe is pretty basic. It is a pretty basic Derby. It does have some text here that says deeper than a mother's tears, as well as this large pull tab at the back. I don't think this pull tab is very common on Derbies, especially for docs. The laces are quite thick. Since these were secondhand, they didn't come with a variation. It was just these black ones, but I prefer them that way. And I suppose the main feature aside from the sole is this double stitching here that you can see that is white and yellow. So I'm thinking of actually coloring in the yellow stitching, because as much as I like docs, I don't want them to really like call out that I am wearing docs. I don't know. And the yellow accent is not one that I'm a big fan of. So I feel like the white being the only one showing would go better with a lot of what I'm wearing. If anything, I do have blue and red accents that I do have in some of my clothing, and I'd rather stick to those than adding the yellow. And you know, they'll look a little bit different too. Overall though, it is interesting wearing a lower profile shoe because most of my shoes, if not all my shoes, are at least of like an ankle height. So these have been pretty cool. I'm happy with them. I just need to wear them in because goodness gracious me, they're so uncomfortable. Next up, we have a pair of shoes from Julius, and these are a pretty wild pair of shoes. They're from, I think it's Autumn Winter 13 Crack is the name of the season. And I don't know what to call them, but they are a pair of heeled ankle boots. So I say that they're heeled not because of this heel here, but inside there is a heel that maybe goes up to like here. So your foot is at a slant as if you were wearing heels. I didn't know that. The description didn't say that till I got them, put them on, I was like, huh, that's interesting. These are in a size 1. I've never actually gone for a Julius one before. 2 is my regular Julius size. And I did do some reading on these, and they did say that they fit closer towards a 2. They're actually quite large, and these do fit me perfectly. It's not too tight, not too big either. The back zip does hold your foot in very, very nicely. The shoes themselves, though, are very, very easy to walk in. Not like my Random Identities worker boots that have a much steeper heel, so do make them more uncomfortable to wear for longer than, a couple of hours. I have worn these for a day at work and out and about, and they do just fine. The main standout feature of them, though, is this wild, I don't know what to call it. The front part of the sole is just kind of looks like some sort of coffin is the shape of it, but it's much, much larger than the actual body of the shoe itself. And I sort of thought that it might be a bit interesting getting this and trying to walk around because the front stretches out a lot longer. Maybe it'd be unusual to do that because no shoes really go out that far, but it's just fine. I haven't had any issues with it, at least so far. I do recall in past shoes that I've had with a larger back. Off the top of my head, I can't remember exactly which one, but it would make something like going downstairs a little bit weird because you're so used to your shoe not having this extra chunk of volume at the back. And these having the volume at the front, not an issue. I like the height. I do prefer higher boots, but these are still really, really nifty. I do like wearing them. I don't wear them all the time though. They're not a shoe that I go to and I'm drawn towards every day because of the inner heel. And it's just from a comfort factor. It is a lot easier walking around in shoes that are flat compared to shoes that you are in a heeled position. But I do enjoy wearing them, do look forward to styling them more, and they just look wild. Like I've never seen a pair of shoes like this before and stoked. All right, with shoes done, let's move on to accessories. And as per usual, basically the accessories are just ties. Now I do recognize that I have a tie problem. Yes, this is me admitting it. I'm being honest. I do really have a hyperfixation on these ties that's leading me to collect them. However, I have sold a couple and do have a couple more pieces that I think I will sell onwards because I have sort of figured out which kind of ties I do prefer and which are the ones that I am wearing a lot, logging my outfits in the app and just making sure I can see what I am actually making the most of. So to start, we have this Yohji Yamamoto tie. These are all wool ties, by the way, and wool gabardine, and this just has Yohji Yamamoto written on it sideways, so it looks sideways when you are wearing it regularly. It's in this interesting kind of shiny, reflective thread that when it does catch light, I don't know if you can see it there, I'm trying to point it to the light that's coming in. It does shimmer a little bit. It's a nice, very, very simple tie. I like how it's written out, and it was just a very good deal. I liked the aesthetic of it and did pick this one up as a result. Next up, we have a Yohji Homme tie. This is actually one that is the same as the Korean Hangul tie that I have, in which the saying is the same. So this one is in kanji and it has these red streaks coming off the sides, but it does say the same thing, which is a Buddhist chant on it. I was not only drawn to this one because of that, but the red accents I really, really like, and my carabiner with my keys on it has a red tag, and I figured that having two red accents would be kind of nice and sort of link an outfit together a bit more if you could see them, which is pretty cool. Not only that though, but since the design is at the top of the tie rather than the bottom like most of the other designs, it means that it can peek out when you have a blazer closed or something sort of rugged up. This does peek out at the top and you can see all of the design, which I really like. I like not obstructing something too much. I don't know what that says about me, but that's just how I feel about things like that. All right, next up, we have another Homme tie. This is very similar. As you can see, there is a theme where I'm very drawn to these kanji slogan ties. This one here, I really like the saying on it. Directly, it means low altitude flight, but the actual way you use it is in describing that, you're on the verge of failing or barely scraping by which I think is really neat. That's kind of how I feel, just with my life most days, but it's a very, very cool little design as well. I've only worn it a couple of times, haven't had it for more than a week. Like some of these pieces literally just arrived last week. So it's been cool to have it. I really, really do like it. And it's kind of like a little rotation of ties to match my mood depending on whatever day it may be or how I'm feeling of the week. It's kind of fun. I like it. It's weird thinking about all this because not even 4 years ago, I would never have been thinking about ties. I didn't know how to tie a tie. I was never really a tie for me was just reminded me of teaching English back in Japan, and I just had to wear it because it was part of the uniform or whatever, and I hated it. So I always looked forward to summer uniform required no tie, and I was like, yes, don't have to wear these bloody things anymore. But now, almost every day I'm wearing a tie. And that leads us to our last one, which is another put on tie, also in the wool gabardine with this design on it here. This one translates to adjustment disorder, which I wasn't really familiar with, but it's apparently something that can happen where, a very significant life event or something occurs that you really struggle to, I guess, adjust with what has happened, and so can be feeling pretty glum or down, among other things too. I don't know how they decide on these slogans to go with ties, but I would love to do something of my own where I was making ties and putting similar-ish slogans like that, at least something to begin with. But this one is very, very cool. I rarely see this one come up for sale and has been one of the ones I've been super into since I have been looking at all these ties. So when it did come up at a great price, I did leap on it, and here it is. I will note though that fellow Yohji enthusiasts, the Salvaged Wardrobe, find them on Instagram, always have really, really cool pieces and have helped me out a lot with, discussing and sourcing things. Did point out that this is a little bit different to their in-store bought tie. There are a couple of differences in the way that the kanji is laid out. So I'm not too sure of whether this is completely legit, which sucks. However, with something like, with such intricate things like this, they can seem like, with such intricate things like this, ties I could say that it might be like a manufacturing issue or a quality control issue, but they do feel the same as all the other ties that I have. There's just little inconsistencies in the kanji, so not exactly sure. It's something to think about. It is a bummer if it is false or a fake because it wasn't advertised like that, but based against the other ties that I have and looking at everything to do with them, it is quite similar, if not the same. So I'm not sure. It's something to think about, and I do appreciate being made aware of that. It's just trying to figure out whether that actually is a thing or not, right? So yeah, a little stressed, but we'll get there. All right, after that mild little freak out, let's move on. I've always been curious about, starting at the very, very bottom of some Yohji kind of pieces, I guess looking more at basics and seeing what is a Yohji basic like? How does it fit? How does it feel? And I do see pieces pop up here and there where it'll be packs of tees or long tees that are, for all intents and purposes, just basics. So I did find a two-pack. 2 pairs is 4. Oh, it's Sunday. So I did find a 2-pack of these long sleeves for much, much under retail that I did pick up. They were both a size 4 as well, which is more of a large and does fit me. And they are the same shirt. This is one that I'm wearing right now. This is the other one. The only difference is that this one has the logo on the back of the neck here, whereas the one that I'm wearing now has the logo printed on the front left of the top itself. There's not much you can really say about these tops. They are long sleeves and they are both exactly the same except for those prints. For some reason though, when I tried them on, this one fitted me differently, but they're the same item code and they're the same shirt. So maybe I was just expecting them to be different. I'm not sure. In the original photo posting, they were on different hangers, so they kind of looked like one was smaller than the other one, and they didn't say that they were both the same, but maybe that's why. But overall, pretty standard. It is very, very nice cotton. It's not too thin, it's not too thick. It is just a simple basic, and I'm not sure whether I would pay retail for this kind of thing, but you know, if that's a kind of ecosystem that you want to exist in, then you're not watching this video to get that opinion. You're already buying into it anyway. So it's been cool. Like, these just feel nice and high quality, and look to get some wear out of them this winter as basics. Okay, now another top. There is a shirt that I wear basically every day, and I've been posting pretty much daily on TikTok doing a get ready with me of what I'm wearing that day. And above and beyond what I wear the most is this Yohji Sight shirt. A cotton shirt in a size 4. It fits me fine. It is just a very, very easy, comfortable, everyday button down that I wear. Sorry, button up that I wear. And I stumbled across its longer brethren. This is a Yohji Sight long button up shirt. It is in the exact same, it's in the same item code material, I'm pretty sure, which is 080. And it is very much what it says on the box. It is the same shirt, but it's longer. And I like that because I know that it fits, and I know what to expect, and I know that the material is good for my skin too. There's sometimes taking gambles on other materials that end quite poorly. That's a lot of shirts that go up for sale is because of such a thing. But this one fits fine, even though it is a size 3, it is one size down. But generally with Yohji long shirts, a lot of them are just one size fits all type deal with them. So perhaps it is just a little bigger all round to accommodate for that kind of thing. But yeah, versatile, and you can also wear it as an outer layer should you just open it up above something, and it just feels like a light coat. That's why I like long shirts. It's a vibe. I don't see why they're hard to come by from other labels, but you know, I'm not here to ask those questions. Just how it is. Long shirt. Okay, up next, there is this marketplace in Australia. It's not Facebook Marketplace, but it's more equivalent to like a Craigslist. It's called Gumtree, and anyone and everyone can just post on there. It's free to post. I guess you can pay for boosts or whatever, but it's one of the more long-running marketplaces before anything like Depop or the more ritzy ones came. This is very, very standard. There's a lot of fake things on there. It's just, you know, it's a free-for-all. And I do check it from now and then because you sometimes find some cool stuff. I have been scammed on there before, but I did find this on there. It was a 90s Yohji wool bomber, and I looked into it, and the person had posted the tags, looked up the tags, things seemed to match. Like, obviously the tag didn't return an item directly because it is quite an old piece, but learning how to read the tags and be like, okay, so this is from the 90s, the person says it's from the 90s, it is wool, the wool matches the material code. And then the inner logo here, the Y is for man, and the size tag 4, yeah, all checked out. So I figured, yeah, why not? It was a little bit more expensive than what I usually buy from Japan because I guess it was from here, but considering it was quite old and in great condition, I did pick it up. The measurements all looked like they'd fit me, and this is an awesome piece. It is slightly cropped, which is quite nice, and you can also fold up the ribbing to make it even more cropped should you want it to be so. An interesting thing that I've noted though is that the neck ribbing is quite tall on the back, and I'm not sure whether that means you're supposed to fold it over or like fold it in or just leave it because I don't know, maybe I'm just thinking about it too much, but I don't have that much experience with bomber jackets, but that's just an odd thing. Perhaps it's more just to keep your neck warm, but the material is very, very nice. Well, it's not too warm though, which is great. And it's very, very nicely lined inside. Can just pop this on. I wear it a lot just as a very, very basic layer that I can zip up and get warm in should I get out and start moving. But it doesn't overheat you because it is so light, and you can just chuck it in a bag as well. It's not such a big jacket. It's really nice to wear when you are going out for a dance or something. in between places to stop you from freezing, especially in the winter. Really, really happy with this. And I've been wearing it a lot. I've been definitely getting a lot of wear out of it, and I can't wait to wear it more over winter. All right, so next piece, Yohji site often do these collabs, be it with other labels or other material manufacturers, to try and just, see what can be created in different manners. And they have released over the past few years pieces with a manufacturer that makes a material fabric called Solotex. Teijin Frontier in Japan as well creates it, and it's a lightweight, water-resistant, wrinkle-resistant fabric that is used for a lot of like outdoorsy type stuff, very gawpy. And since seeing the pieces that they post, I've always been very drawn to the two-piece suit that they have. It's a pair of balloon pants and a blazer. And the feature that stands out amongst all, the weather-resistant kind of things is that each piece is packetable into itself. Pants will pack into their back pocket. Upper top stuff will pack into an inner pocket itself. So you can just have this thing in your bag in a very, very small form factor and just whip it out should you need it. And I recently came across the blazer. Both of these, the blazer and the bottoms together, the resale is absurd sometimes. I think there's one out there for quite a significant amount of money, more than what it was sold for. So it's been just keeping an eye on who might be selling different pieces. And I've managed to pick up the two pieces off separate sellers. And this is the blazer that arrived. It is a very, very simple 3-button blazer. The material is definitely very gawpy. It's got this matte finish. Here's the inside side patch with Solotex in there as well. You can also stand the collar up, and the collar has this nice stitching in there that looks quite good if you do decide to stand it up and button it across to the lapel side, like so. So it stands like this, which is really, really neat. Now, I am a bit pudgy lately. I have put on weight, unfortunately. I'm working on it. I'm working on getting it off. And so buttoning this up does feel a bit tight, but otherwise, because of the slight stretch the fabric has, I can wear it open. And yeah, it's cool to have something that I'd been seeking and had my eye on for a while. And so it's cool to have this together. I'm currently wearing the Solotex pants as well. So I don't know, I'll take some footage of them together and you can see what it looks like. Probably very different compared to on like one of the smaller frame models that it was initially modeled on, but it's an interesting jacket, and it's kind of funny to have a two-piece suit, but in this weatherproof fabric. I like the idea of it. Whether or not it works in practice, we'll yet to see. If it starts raining one day, I'll put it on and see if the water just beads off. All right, final section. Let's talk about bottoms. Now, with putting on weight, bottoms, I've had to, sell off a few, unfortunately, because my waist is just getting too large and I get very stressed about just breaking buttons and things just not working very well with, my increased pudginess. So luckily all of these ones do fit me pretty well, and it is sad to have to, move on some of the ones that I do like because I have put on weight, but it's better than just having them and never wearing them because I'm too afraid to. And I'd rather they go somewhere where people appreciate them. So this first piece is a pair of GroundY 3-way skirt pants. Now, it's a bit difficult to demonstrate this whilst sitting down and not standing far away from the camera, but the pants at the back have a layer that does cover the rest of them like a skirt. And then on the front, you have a wrap part that extends from the back that you can cross over and tie with the string. A part on the left front that you can tie the string to the other part here as well. So the back can come across and tie to this side, but then from the middle part of the pant, I guess it is just the middle of the waist, there is an extra layer that can come across and tie to the other side. So once all sort of put together, the front can look like a skirt as well. And because beneath all of that is just a regular pair of trousers, it immediately just looks like a layered pair of pants, which is really, really nice. And the different ways that you can articulate Why do I keep using the word? And the different ways that you can tie each of the extra bits of fabric give you options in what kind of silhouette or aesthetic that you'd like to go for. And I really, really like those options with clothes as well. These are in a cotton and they're in a size 3, but with a very, very generous waist, as you can see here. So I've been enjoying putting these on and busting them out. The cotton's interesting though. It almost feels like it is a bit woolly, even though there is no wool in it. It feels close to, say, the bomber jacket wool than regular soft cotton and say this top is. I'm not sure how you achieve that through process, but it's quite nice. I really do like these pants and they were a great deal. Funnily enough, I got them with the intention to sell them and then put them on and was like, damn. Next up, I'm sure you're aware that one of my favorite pieces that I have in my wardrobe are these pair of black scandal half pants or shorts. That's just, well, the Japanese way of saying shorts. Some people say hanzubon, which is just half pants. Language is funny. And those are made from cotton. And so they're not very viable in cooler weather. In come these pants. Pair of mainline put on wool shorts that I did pick up with a very, very similar like billowy silhouette that I really, really like. Interestingly enough, these ones do not have a draw cord, but instead have these pull tabs on the waist. As you can see, I've pulled them in. That's how large the waist is on these by default. So you cinch them there, and then you also have all the buttons inside to give you the option to wear with suspenders. And that's pretty awesome. I only have a pair of clip suspenders. I've never actually used them because I think they don't fit. I'd love to get a pair of button suspenders, but I just don't know where to go buy a pair that fits because that's something that you don't really see every day. An interesting detail on the back as well is that on the waist part, it comes up with these two parts here. I'm not sure whether that's just part of how suspenders would fit to pants. Is that a detail for that, or is that a detail specific to the short? I'm not completely sure, but these are really, really, really nice. I kind of want to put them on now for when I go out and do something later. And yeah, have been really stoked with them. Now that it is getting colder as well, I will be putting them out more, and it's nice to have the winter version, not exactly, but a winter version of something that I really like wearing in the summer, so I can still, be out there wearing shorts or half pants, if you would. Okay, and to the final piece. There are many pieces that I've seen through my Yohji searching adventures that do often come up and seem quite coveted by, I guess, at least the community in Japan. There's pieces like the staff shirt or the monkey boots, karasu pants, the crow pants. And another one of those pieces is the wrap pants. Now, there's many different iterations of the wrap pants. You can also get GroundY versions of them too. The ones that I see sought out the most are the wool gabardine wrap pants that even on resale in Japan are very, very dear. And that's pretty interesting because a lot of stuff is significantly under retail, but those are like the value has not seemingly fluctuated over all this time that I've been looking at things. But enter this pair, not wool gabardine, but I did find a pair of black scandal mainline wrap pants in cotton. And the cotton matched the code from my black scandal shorts that I have. But because they're wrap pants, they are then layered. So it is something that is a bit more viable to wear in winter too. These pants themselves, really cool. I do want to make a video on them because I can't go over how they constructed this quickly. But this rear layer with the buttons is over the top of a layer beneath. The front is just interestingly layered as well over the legs. The construction is just wild on these. There's like they're attached in bits and like they're attached in half of a part. And then there's like the front like skirt bit that comes across that you can also just wear open. Really, really cool. Sort of evoke a similar feeling to the crepe de chine Be by Yohji ones that I featured in my last pickups video, which are now unfortunately for sale because I'm too fat for them. These are like the model of wrap pants that you know, when people think of a Yohji wrap pant, they think of something like this. I feel like if I got them in a wool gabardine, I just wouldn't wear them as much outside of winter because, you know, it's going to be hot and they're layered. But something like cotton gives me more options, and I just wear long socks underneath to keep them going. But these are just awesome. I really, 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 really like these. Maybe not enough reallys, and can't wait to rinse them some more. And yeah, they were a bit more of an investment than a regular pair of pants that I'd buy, but it's nice to have a staple piece in the wardrobe. And yeah, can't wait to wear them more. All right, so thanks for bearing with me. I never know how much or how little to talk in these videos about pieces, so if I ramble, I'm sorry. If I should talk less, check TikTok and, you know, it'll be less than 5 minutes about anything like that. Really cool pickups, and it is, you know, it is a bit sad to have to like get rid of things that I do like and love because of how my body's going, but it takes time, and I'm aware that, you know, down the track, maybe I can get them back or find other pieces that will fit. But for now, it's really just focusing on what works with my body and also working on my body to try and get it to the goals of where I'll be. So, you know, we'll check in, we'll see what happens, we'll see how it goes. But for now, things are good. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you're taking care of yourselves wherever you may be. Remember to have fun, be safe, take care. And as always, don't do anything I do except try yourself an inner heeled boot. Just put it on. See whether it's your thing, because it was a surprise, and I'm a bit of a fan now. And yeah, all right, y'all take care, be safe, bye-bye.